I'm Carla Heyman. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I'm 40 years old. Well, with my work, I stare at the computer all day working on reports, and sometimes it's for hours before I'm able to even leave that report. I mean, I'm deadline driven, so my eyes will dry tremendously, and I constantly have to force myself to blink, and at the end of the day, my eyes are exhausted. When I wear my contacts, when I wear my glasses, I find myself taking them off to read or to put them back on, and in the end my eyes are incredibly tired at the end of the day, and I'm just looking forward to not having any of that, to just be able to see. There were a lot of things that kind of built up to it. I've been considering LASIK since probably since it first kind of came out. My best friend had it straight away and loved it, and since then things have been building. And my last set of contacts, it took me 4 different trips to the optometrist to get the right prescription, and in the end I've lived with the wrong prescription for a year because I got tired of dealing with it. And then thank you federal government, because they made flex spending account $6,000 this year, and it'll go back down next year, so it had to be done this year. I did internet research. I have a friend in the industry up in the Seattle area, and I asked around work. I just mentioned it to someone, and he said, you know, I'm having it next week, and here's the guy I'm having it with, and he actually gave me a bulleted points of the reasons he chose Dr. Will. And in the conversation, someone else walked up and said, I had it with that guy just 3 years ago and I couldn't be happier. So I contacted my friend in Seattle, and she said he's the best in this area. So when my friend in Seattle would approve for me to see a different doctor than she worked with, I knew I was in the right hands. I can't wait to see the alarm clock. I've woke up and thought my house was on fire because my vision was blurry and I thought it was smoke. So I'm excited for that to never happen again. And 6 months from now, I'm excited. I'm a motorcycle rider, both on and off road, and I camp. And that's literally what I do every single weekend, winter, summer, spring, fall. And I'm looking forward to not having to put in dirty contacts when I'm camping or try to fit glasses in a helmet. And then I'll just be able to do those things without worry. It went really well. I felt like the staff was incredibly kind, and I felt a lot of love. And during the surgery itself, when they brought me in the room, I felt like they made me as comfortable as absolutely possible. Surprisingly comfortable, and I love the little pillow that they put around your head. And as the surgery went through, they explained, you know, you don't have very much longer, 15 more seconds, oh, you're almost done, you're doing a good job. And they talked me through it. I felt like I was a part of the surgery, not just the patient. And they again, I was incredibly comfortable, and it was fascinating. My first comment when they were done, I said, I have a very strange thing to say. That was fun. And it was actually fun. It was just really such a cool thing to see and experience an amazing technology. The first thing I did was not be able to see anything because I had the goggles on, because I was a good girl. So I took those off, and then I kind of just laid there and I looked around the room. And it was amazing that I didn't actually reach for my glasses. I think partly because I had something to take off, but it was amazing what I could see. And I got up and I ran down the stairs, and my boyfriend asked me, like, how do you feel? Are you doing okay? Do you need help down the stairs? And like, no, I feel fantastic. And I found myself just looking at everything in the room, stuff that I hadn't noticed. And even with contacts or glasses, I just hadn't noticed. And I actually sat in a chair and watched the birds eat out of the bird feeder this morning. And that was amazing to me. And then I took a bath, and I could, at the end of we have a very big bathtub, and at the end of our bathtub was a clock with music playing, and I could actually read what music was playing, where before I'd have to swim to the end to see what was playing. So it was really, I just took my time to see everything and like check, like, do I feel okay? I feel okay. I actually feel great, and I feel fantastic today. It's amazing. On the way here, I guess, well, first of all, I had to fight to be able to drive myself. My boyfriend's being a little overprotective. He wanted me to wear my goggles while I drove, but I wore my regular sunglasses, which were fine. I don't find myself to be as light sensitive as I thought I was going to be, but that's great. On the way here, I think I just noticed I could read license plates a lot easier, and I felt like my depth perception was, I don't know if it was better or worse, or it was just different. I felt like I really knew where I was in traffic, and everything just seemed brighter and crisper, because even with my contacts, you can never have them clean enough, I guess, and nothing's crisp, and everything is very crisp. I used Care Credit. I did their 24-month, no interest. I mean, seriously, no interest. That's amazing. And, the difference between doing it without interest or with interest, the payment wasn't that much different. So it made sense to do it in the 2 years. In 2 years, I would have spent, my contacts cost me, I have incredible medical insurance, but it does not cover vision hardly at all. It covers your basic examination. So my contacts were costing me between $350 and $450, upwards of $500 every year. And I would get a new pair of glasses every other year, and they cost between $400 and $600, because I'm a little picky on what they look like and how I see out of them, and I want them shaved down so that they're not pop bottles, and I want to be able to wear them in public. So honestly, this will have paid for itself by taking out the contacts and the glasses within 2 years. Well, I was supposed to go to the beach, but the protective boyfriend doesn't want me around blowing sand, so we're skipping that this weekend. But I had Dr. Will sign a note that I can ride my motorcycle. So as cold as it is, as foggy as it is, the sun is coming out, and I'm going home and putting on my gear, and I'm going to ride my motorcycle without any fear of my contact flying out, getting a wrinkle, getting something under it. I'm going to, wear my goggles, and I'm going to ride and see perfectly. So that's today. That's tomorrow, because I'll be riding tomorrow, and in 6 months from now, I'm going on a women's ride over to Eastern Oregon, and I'm excited to not have to camp with my dirty fingernails and dirty hands and not have to put contacts in to be able to ride. First of all, I would say do your research on who you go see. I would highly recommend Dr. Will. I did a lot of research, and this is the only place that I would recommend someone to come. But I would want them to discover that on their own as well. I would probably do what my friend did for me, is give them a bulleted list of reasons I think this is the best place. Make them do their own research so that it is their decision to come here. And I would say, if you have a chance at flex spending, use your flex spending account. If a Care Credit was the most easiest application I've ever filled out, and it literally took 30 seconds for them to, less than that, to say approved, and I was approved for above the amount it actually cost me to have the surgery.